All righty, let's get into it. You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Hope you guys are having a happy Monday and everyone's celebrating Juneteenth. Big day here on New York Giants Now. We got some news and rumors to talk about. Of course, we're going to recap minicamp. We got winners and losers coming out of minicamp that wrapped up last week for the New York Giants. Then there's reports coming out that Jalin Hyatt has been struggling and working with the third team, and we're going to talk about that. I don't want to give my answer away, but I'm not worried about Mr. Jalin Hyatt. We also have some Saquon Barkley stuff to talk about. Then, as always, we're going to end the show with a mailbag where we answer questions from the real ones. So let's get into it. Let's get the comment section going. If you're a real one, you bleed blue and red, you love the New York Giants, and Giants Now is your go-to YouTube channel for everything New York Giants, I need you to type real one right now down in the comment section. We're going to give everybody about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to tune into the program. Everyone's got that push notification. Just crossed over 100 people watching the show. But let's get the comment section going. Everyone that types real one down below, if you are a real one, I'm going to give you a shout out. I know who the real ones are. Nothing's getting by me. No one's fooling me. Let's go. My man Mitch Hates Rolly confirmed is a real one. We got Crim's dad in the building. It's been a minute since Crimsy has come down these ways. Good to see you, Mr. Crims. Hope all is well. Basil Champ, definition of a real one. Chris is a real one. Daniel, definitely a real one. Jesus, you are a real one, my friend. Jonathan's a real one. Anthony's a real one. Fred is definitely a real one. Anthony, Gilly, 100% a real one. Jesus, my day's going good, man. It's a good day. Any day I get to talk about the Giants, it's a good freaking day to be Marshall Green, no doubt about it. There's a whole bunch of real ones in the comment section. Eric Cruz, individual. Vikings Kid, 227. Seeps, you know anything about Vikings Kid 27?
I don't.
As we do have producer Seeps riding shotgun with us here on a Monday.
Buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing? We're going to talk some Jalin Hyatt today, Marsh, because people are freaking out for no reason.
People are freaking out about the rookie Jalin Hyatt. I'm not worried, though. Isn't there some worried people in Minnesota about Jordan Addison as well?
Yeah, same thing. The reports from Minnesota camp was Jordan Addison's having a tough time understanding the playbook and everything. So the rookies, it's mini camp.
It's 7-on-7.
It's 7-on-7 football. They're playing in shells. I'm not really too worried.
I'm not worried about anything coming out about Giants minicamp that is involved with Jalin Hyatt. But I'll ask you, are you worried about Jalin Hyatt? There's reports that he's running with the third team. He's slow to pick up the playbook. The talent gap that he went from in the SEC and the gimmicky offense in Tennessee to this playbook, he's having some time, getting off the line of scrimmage, getting open. These are all reports from really unnamed sources, and we're going to debunk that report, which comes from NFL Rookie Watch on Twitter. They're a growing account. They continue to grow and grow, and they put out good work. But this one about Hyatt, I thought was a little bit bogus and a little Swiss cheese. We're going to poke some holes in that argument.
He's also a third-round pick. Let's not act like this guy was taken 10th overall.
Yeah.
And you were expecting him to kind of right away be like the man in that wide receiver.
I agree. I don't see anyone in the chat right now saying they're worried about Jalin Hyatt, and I don't think he should be. I don't think there's any reason to worry about it. Mark, what up, Mark? Just reports are coming out of Giants minicamp that Hyatt has, I guess, not looked good, but we also have reports from people that were actually at practice that said that's not all that true. So we are going to break that down on today's show as Gilly comes through, a real one. Shout out to Gilly. Gilly, hope you're having a good Monday. What is up? Hyatt going to be a beast. I think he is.
Facts.
I think Hyatt, it may not be year one, but I do think Hyatt is going to be a Giant for a long time, and I think he's going to be a good player for the New York Giants. I don't want to go too much into my thoughts and opinions on that because we're going to break that down in probably about 5 or 6 minutes. But the Giants drafted Jalin Hyatt for a reason, and everyone knows it's because he's an explosive player. And if you're a friend of the program, you know the Giants were the second least explosive pass offense in the 2022 season. and that's why they picked him. So, Seeps, I would almost go out to say, like, if Jalin Hyatt has 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, that's a good game for rookie Jalin Hyatt. It takes 1 catch for him to have a good game.
I mean, we talked about his on a previous show, like 18.9 yards per catch at Tennessee. If you just need any tape on Jalin Hyatt, go watch that Bama game. Like, he was literally the one-man show, the one-man wrecking crew in a Tennessee-Alabama college football game. He was fantastic.
My man Rob Jigga in the chat said, "What up, guys? Sorry I'm late. I do not forgive you." He says, "No worries about Hyatt just yet." And then, "How's the tan, Marsh? Thanks for today." Am I looking sunburned today? I mean, last week everyone said I was sunburned. I guess my arms are just a naturally red color, but I'm also white. So I don't know which one it is. I'm not sunburned. Was not sunburned last Monday either. But everyone in the chat was saying I was sunburned.
I think it was the lighting.
I think it was the lighting. I don't know. Look, Rob, good to see you, my man. What up, what up, what up? All righty. Next question I want to ask everyone. Does a Saquon Barkley contract extension get done before the July 17th deadline? So that's the deadline for the Giants to get a long-term deal done. Seeps, was it you, or I don't remember if it was you or Rolly, that was producing the Giants live when we were on the franchise tag deadline, and they got the deal done with Jones literally 1 minute until the clock? I don't remember if it was you or Rolly,
that was Rolly, but
the Giants are going to take their time.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, Seeps, they are hoping a deal with the Raiders and Josh Jacobs gets done first.
Because there's no advantage to them getting a deal done
before,
early,
yeah,
right?
no.
Like, there's
technically,
nothing...
no, because, I mean, you could come to training camp. Let me see when training camp gets started for the Giants. I believe it's late July and after that, so.
I mean, I think a deal gets done. I just think the whole – honestly, originally when I was talking to Marsh about this, I thought Saquon had the leverage, but now we're really thinking about this. Like, is Saquon really going to hold out? Is he really going to take that 1 year of his prime? I mean, we know running back shelf lives are already shorter than other position groups in the NFL. And he's already 26 years old. You think he's going to take a year out of his prime just to kind of make a point? I really don't think so.
I don't think so either, man. There's just no way that he's going to turn down $10 million. No. That's just my take on that. I don't think he will. Giants training camp, I honestly can't find a good date on that. That's embarrassing. But I believe it's late July.
Late July.
Giants 2023.
So no advantage for the Giants to get this done necessarily before that July 17th.
Yeah, none. No. Training camp typically opens 14 days, so that would have the Giants about July 28th. So the start of training camp is technically after the deadline. It looks like the chat thinks he's going to get a deal done.
See, would you be nervous, though? Josh Jacobs and the Las Vegas Raiders, they get a massive deal done, making him – maybe it's not the highest running back paid in the league, but what if he's up there? Do you think then Saquon turns to the Giants and says, look what they're doing?
I don't think a deal with, no matter what it is for Josh Jacobs, I don't think it can have any bad impact on the Giants. Because only thing it's going to do is up the speed of the negotiations, right? Like Saquon's going to say, hey, look, I'm better than him. Yeah. I've been better than him. And I'm more important to my team than I think Josh Jacobs is to his. And this is his mark. Like, at least get me to that number. You know what I'm saying? I think if a deal gets done, it actually helps the Giants more than it does Saquon. Because right now, Saquon, it actually honestly helps both sides. Because Saquon doesn't have, he's negotiating against the market that's nothing right now. Like, there's no benchmark for what a good running back's getting paid right now. So, whether it be Josh Jacobs gets a deal done, we've heard Jonathan Taylor wants a new contract extension.
So, if you had to go pie chart right now, you got 3 slices of pie. He plays on the franchise tag, a deal gets done, or he holds out. How are you divvying that up?
I would say 50% he gets a deal done.
Okay.
48% he plays on the franchise tag.
Okay.
2% he sits out.
2%? Okay. I'd probably be the exact same, I think.
That's where I would have it right now. That's where I would have it right now. We're going to get rolling in today's show, but I do want to let you guys know a little programming alert right here. As you guys know, I do run our New York Knicks account, Knicks Now by Chat Sports here on YouTube. I cover the Knicks as well as the Giants, and The channel's been crushing, just like it does here on Giants Now, because New York fans are the best sports fans in the world. And because of that, we have gotten the opportunity to go live for the NBA draft, as well as on our main Chat Sports channel of almost 400,000 subscribers. Year in and year out, Chat Sports is the #1 live coverage of the NBA draft on YouTube. So not only are you going to be able to watch it live on YouTube on our main Chat Sports channel, but you can watch me and Seeps do it our damn selves on Knicks Now with a little bit of Knicks twist, a little bit more fun, a little bit more laid back, informative and entertaining coverage of the draft. So if you want to join us for the NBA draft, subscribe to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. That's youtube.com/KnicksTV. We'll be live probably an hour before the NBA draft gets going on Thursday on our main Chat Sports channel. We'll be live about an hour and a half, 2 hours before. But if you just want to hang out with the guys, join us.
It's going to be fun. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Knicks will trade up and get a pick, you know.
Maybe they do. Maybe we can speak it into existence. But make sure you guys, if you are a Knicks fan and you're subscribed to this channel and not subscribed to the Knicks channel, you're a fraud. So change that. So youtube.com/KnicksTV. We got 170 people in the chat right now watching, but only 47 likes. That is unacceptable. If we can get up to 100 likes on today's show, I'm taking a shot at tequila to get things rolling. Let's get up to 100 likes. And if you have liked the video, comment me down below, and I'm going to give you a shout out because I want to show some love to the people that show love to us. If you have liked the video, comment me. If you haven't liked the video, you can like it and then also comment me, and I might give you a shout out as well. My man Bill says, I hit the button, I forgot. Bill, I'll never forgive you, brother. I'll never forgive you. What up, Bill? I hope all is well, my man. David liked the video. What up, David? Justin liked the video. Eric liked the video. My man C. Lawson liked the video. Thomas says, Warriors Nation. Ooh. Boo. That's BS, man. There's no real Warriors fans. They're all bandwagons. Gilly liked the video. Is Azaze? I know I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I appreciate you, my man, for liking the video. Rosario Guzzo. What up, Guzzo? Happy Monday, my man. Liked the video. And then a real one from the top deck, Sahagins Detailing.
Oh, what a name.
A legend.
I haven't heard this.
That's a blast from the past, my man.
Seriously.
Says. Guess who's back again. Sahagins Detailing. What up, Brody? Said, what up? I miss y'all. We miss you, man. I miss Giants football. I was literally just talking with Seeps before the show got rolling. We're ready for NFL Sundays.
It needs to come quicker. Like, we are too far away right now. I'm already itching, and like we don't even really have like the first true taste of NFL football. So it's got to hurry up.
I am ready for NFL Sundays to be back, hanging with the gang, watching the Giants, wearing the hard hat. I'm ready. I'm ready to get back in the lab. Sahagins, hope you're having a good summer. Hope the detailing is crushing right now. I know this. If you were in Dallas, you'd be detailing everybody's car at Chat Sports because we support our own and you support us. So we appreciate it, man. We got 172 people watching, 82 likes, 18 likes away from 100. Once we get to 100, I'm taking a shot of Patron. We got the Patron on deck. Patron. So we'll do that. But remember, as always, all right, bye, Jonah. Hope all is well. You can catch this on the channel later as well. Remember, we are going to close the show with a mailbag. I'm going to be able to answer questions from you all. So if you want your question featured on the show, just include a hashtag Giants in the comment section. It honestly doesn't even have to be a question. It could be a comment. It could be a take. You could tell me I'm stupid. You could disagree with what I'm saying. Let's just talk some ball. Yeah. Use hashtag Giants in the comments section. I want to chop it up with the subscribers of Giants Now, because that's what we pride ourselves on, audience interaction. And I just like chopping it up with you guys. You guys are the best damn fans in the world. Y'all know what's going on. So hashtag Giants, or if you want to guarantee your spot on the mailbag, you can super chat. We'll put that at the top of the line. It's kind of like the fast pass. You super chat, you get to the top of the line. 9 likes away from 100 likes. I could use a little tequila in me to get this show rolling.
Corey in the chat's a Celtics and Giants fan. What a combo
that's criminal.
That is criminal.
That is criminal. I hate I think I hate the Heat more than the Celtics, but the Celtics are right there.
Yeah, Celtics are up there, especially this team.
Oh! Bill with the $50 super chat. What a legend. Bill, I freaking love you, dude. It says, you go ahead and tell Chase to send the damn what happened? I don't know about this. I don't know about this, Bill. Fill me in on this. I don't know what's going on. He said he tried to get me to send the Heat chat, and that would have just made me feel dirty. I'm out of the loop on this. I don't know what.
Is there an inside joke here at the offices? We're not
Bill, did you get shysted out of a Real One shirt? Is that what happened? That's kind of what I'm collecting here.
I think, yeah.
Do you need a Real One shirt, Bill? Because if so, I will get you one. I will get one. He said,
to the Heat chat.
He said, donate on the Heat. He'd send a Real One t-shirt. So you sent a super chat to our main channel, but he wanted it on the Heat channel, and you didn't because you're a Knicks fan, which I respect. I'm guessing that's what happened. Bill, I will get it done for you because me and Seeps, we're doers. We get shit done. I will get you a shirt, Bill. So I sent it here.
Let's
Love that.
fucking ride.
Love that.
Let's ride.
Bill, I'll get it figured out for you. I will get it figured out. Bill, we freaking love you, my man. I got a shot at tequila for that.
Also, Bill, I will say, anytime I see your profile pic, it just fires me up because I know whatever you're cooking, the burgers, the chicken.
Dude, yeah, what is that? It always looks fire.
It looks so good and it gets me hungry because normally when we go live, it's normally at the end of the day. We already have lunch and like I'm thinking about dinner and I see Bill cooking up on his YouTube profile pic.
Bill is probably like Bobby Flay in the kitchen. You know he's just cooking up heat.
Look at him, he's got the shades on too. Like you
Bill's
know that's
a badass. Bill, I freaking love you, dude.
Mesquite chicken, as he said, is on the grill.
Ooh, that sounds fire.
That
sounds heat. That honestly, Bill, you're a doer, and I love it. Bill, thank you so much, my man. I'll get the Real One shirt figured out for you, Brody. Thank you for the very, very generous contribution. You know it goes a long way. Thank you. As Gilly back again with a $5 super chat says, with Belly and I like that.
I like
Bellinger,
that.
Waller, I like it. Belly and Wally. Are we going to be a two tight end offense going forward? This is a great question, Gilly. We're definitely going to put this in the mailbag, and I am 100%. I am 100% expecting Gilly for the Giants to run that. What do you call it? 12 personnel with two tight ends.
Yeah.
We used to call it 22 personnel in college, two backs, two tight ends. But yeah, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting Waller to honestly be used as a receiver this year.
Yeah.
I listened to Dan Duggan. He went on Talking Giants, another awesome Giants YouTube channel. They crush it over there as well. And they had Dan Duggan of The Athletic on, and I watched that this weekend. And he said that the Giants, although they were managing the workload of Darren Waller this offseason, they said they don't need him to be 100% active in the offseason. They want him to be ready to go for week one. But they were using him as that solo X receiver on one side of the field. And that's what I'm expecting. I expect a lot, Gilly, of Waller and Bellinger on the field at the same time.
God, imagine being that DB and you get the Darren Waller assignment.
We've heard Travis Kelce and we've heard George Kittle talk about Daniel Bellinger because last summer they always do that tight end university or whatever where all the NFL tight ends get together. And Belly was obviously a rookie when he went there. But after that camp, Travis Kelce said he's got really, really high hopes for Daniel Bellinger. And then like a couple of weeks ago, George Kittle was speaking to the media in San Francisco, and he talked about how special of a player Daniel Bellinger is going to be. And I have the same thoughts, honestly. I thought he had a really good rookie year. He's a solid blocker as well. He's really your prototypical inline tight end, then get it done on third down as well. I'm excited for the two tight end personnel sets. I think it's really going to help.
Even though Dable didn't do a lot of that in Buffalo, that seems like something he wants to do. I don't know if he's spoken about it at all, but that seems like two tight ends. It seems right up Dable's alley.
One thing I love about Dable is he is so flexible, and that's what good coaches do. Good coaches and good leaders, they don't have a cookie-cutter offense. Their offense, they don't have an offense. What they do is they put their best personnel, they put their players in the best position to succeed. Think about last year. The Giants started the year as a run-first offense. That's not what Buffalo is. That's not what Brian Daboll was about.
Yep.
But he came in, he understood that was the best way for the Giants to win games, and as they got more confident in that O-line and Daniel Jones, they shifted more to a pass offense. Whatever Brian Daboll thinks is going to be the best-case scenario for the Giants on offense, he's going to do it, and that's what makes the mark of a good coach. Because Jason Garrett, he had an offense, and you had to fit into his offense, and that's why he got fired.
That's why I love coaches that, like, adapt their offense to the personnel they have. Like, it's not like, here's my offense. Like you just said, Jason Garrett fit into, like, what I do. Like, Daboll helps his players, and, like, I don't know. That's just how I would coach.
I agree. Bill, Gilly, this one's for y'all. We're about to talk Jalin Hyatt. Let's do it.
Jalin Hyatt.
Woo! Let's roll. Reports coming out of Giants minicamp are that Jalin Hyatt is struggling and has been running with the third team. We're going to break that down, and I'm going to tell you if I am nervous or really worried about the reports of Jalin Hyatt. You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because just because it's June and July, that doesn't mean our coverage is going to stop. We're going to continue to put out videos every day about the latest Giants news and rumors. So hit that sub button and help us get to 30,000 subs. So over the weekend, NFL Rookie Watch, which really has been a Twitter page that has really started to blow up. And what they do, obviously, is they talk about NFL rookies. And they tweeted out and said, Jalin Hyatt has reportedly been mostly working with the Giants' third team throughout off-season practices. Hyatt reportedly has, quote, an uphill climb to see any kind of consistent playing time this season. Many who have observed Giants practices say it's hard to see a substantial role for Hyatt this year without injuries. However, Giants wide receiver coach Mike Groh has reportedly been impressed with Hyatt's route running abilities. Time will tell for the rookie wide receiver. And this kind of sent everybody on Giants Twitter into shambles. And then Jalin Hyatt the following morning tweeted out, I love starting from the bottom. Makes the come up more satisfying. I wonder who he was talking about in that tweet. But after the NFL Rookie Report put that tweet out, my man Art Stapleton, who was one of the best Giants beat reporters in the game, quote tweeted that and said, as someone who was at all four of the Giants open practices this spring, I'd say making a definitive statement about Jalin Hyatt's rookie season is a bit premature based on what transpired in 7-on-7 live drills and 11-on-11 walkthroughs to this point. Then Brandon London, who works for the Giants social media team, said, one, quote your sources. I was just in the Giants facility. Those I talked to about Hyatt think the kid has juice. Love that word. Always an uphill climb for a rookie during OTAs. Daboll's playbook will take more time to learn than the Tennessee Volunteers. Then he quoted at the end and said, Alexa, save this tweet. I call Cap. And then Patty Traina, who does a great job covering the Giants as well, and said, no disrespect here, but this isn't news. The team has had, a dozen or so padded practices since the draft. Let's see how the dust settles after training camp. I love how all of the Giants beat reporters, and there's way more in this. You can go just to the tweet and look at the quote tweets. Everyone pretty much called BS about the report, really loose word I'm going to use there, about that tweet from NFL Rookie Watch. So I want to ask you, I don't know if it's true. I mean, he has been working with the third and second team. He's been working more in Tyrod Taylor than Daniel Jones. But he's also a third-round pick, and the Giants have a stacked wide receiver core in terms of depth. So I want to ask you, are you worried about Jalin Hyatt? I want to hear from you down below. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show in the comment section. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, let me know. Are you worried about Jalin Hyatt? Type Y for yes and for no. For me, not a chance, not a sliver. No, I am not worried at all about Jalin Hyatt and what is going on in Giants minicamp in OTAs. You know why he's not working with the first team offense? Because he was a third-round pick, and the Giants have 8 or 9 guys fighting at that wide receiver position to make the roster. Art Stapleton, another great tweet on this, and said, As far as the numbers game at wide receiver for the Giants, here's the reality. Jalin Hyatt has a huge advantage over just about every other wide receiver on the roster. He's on the 53-man roster, period. If they keep 6 wide receivers, he's one of the 6. That's how close he is to significant time. And I'm in a 100% lockstep agreement with Art Stapleton. When you are picked in the 3rd round, you are going to make the roster. But the reason that he's working with that 2nd and 3rd team is because the Giants have an Isaiah Hodgins. They have a Darius Slayton. They have a Paris Campbell. They have a veteran in Jamison Crowder. They have Collin Johnson. They had David Sills. And I didn't even mention Wan'Dale Robinson and Sterling Shepard, who are coming back from injury. The Giants are going to keep 6 or 7 wide receivers. And I think the locks at the position are Hodgins, Slayton, Campbell, Hyatt. That's 4. And then you got Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson, who could start the season on the pup or be healthy. That's 6. And then you're really looking at Jamison Crowder, David Sills, Jeff Smith as a potential kind of special teams guy. The Giants are going to have to the guys at this position are going to have to battle it out. But I know this for a fact. Jalin Hyatt, he's 100% making the roster, and I'm not worried about any of this. We'll get to some of his stats and why I think he's going to be a big piece on this offense. But if you love the NBA and you love the New York Knicks, it's NBA draft season this Thursday. We are going to be live on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, a.k.a. youtube.com/Knicks TV. Myself, producer Seeps, we're going to be live for all 58 picks of the NBA draft. And I want you guys to hang out with us. And I would appreciate it if you go and subscribe over there. If you're a Giants fan and you're a Knicks fan, go subscribe to Knicks Now, youtube.com/Knicks TV. And join us this Thursday for live coverage of the 2023 NBA Draft. I don't know if Mr. NFL Rookie Report is, first time around the block covering the NFL or whatever you want to call his Twitter account. I may go on a limb right here. 3rd-round wide receivers don't typically start in the summertime at practice. I mean, even Seep said it. Jordan Addison, who was picked inside the top 25 in the NFL draft, is, I don't want to say struggling, but has been a little bit slow to learn the playbook. And that is what happens with rookies. There's a learning curve. You start to learn new concepts. Your coach doesn't call the plays at the line of scrimmage. It's a different type of game. It's not college football. It's professional football. There's a learning curve. Also, I would say this. The fact that Jalin Hyatt, your 3rd-round pick, may be working with the 2nd and 3rd team more than the 1st team, that's a great problem to have. Would you rather have Jalin Hyatt working with your 3rd team or have the situation last year where Marcus Johnson was your number 1 wide receiver for multiple games in a season? Depth was a problem last year for the Giants at the wide receiver position. It's not anymore. You needed competition this summer. And that's exactly what Joe Shane did. Competition always brings out the best players. And that's what you want. The Giants are no longer razor thin at the wide receiver position. But I also know this. They didn't just trade up in the 3rd round for nothing. The Giants drafted Jalin Hyatt for a reason. Because he is the most explosive rookie wide receiver in the National Football League. And that is an area that the New York Giants struggled in the 2022 season. So I want to bring up these stats. We brought them up a couple times on the channel before, but not everybody gets to watch every video. So look at this. These are the teams ranked 1 to 10 who had the most explosive pass plays last season. And of these teams, the total record was 113-55, which is 11.4 wins per 17 games. So if you are a top explosive pass play team in the National Football League, you're going to be pretty damn good. 11.5 wins. But on the contrary, if you're in the bottom 10 teams, like the New York Giants were, from ranked 23 to 32 in explosive pass plays, the record of those teams are 59, 107, and 4. Which means of these 10 teams right here, they, on average, win 5.9 games per 17. The only team to make the playoffs on screen right here were the New York Giants, and they had the 2nd most second least amount, of explosive pass plays. So how do you become more explosive? You get the most explosive wide receiver leaving college football, and that's what Jalin Hyatt was, averaging 18.9 yards per catch and had 15 touchdowns and absolutely destroyed the Alabama Crimson Tide defense. Nick Saban is still having nightmares of the 5-touchdown performance that Hyatt had. 67 receptions last year, almost 1,300 yards. Hyatt was in the end zone more often than not. But it wasn't just the season stats and the raw stats. We talked about explosive plays, explosive plays, explosive plays. The Giants have to become more explosive. Well, how about you get Hyatt, the most explosive player in college football? He had 15 catches last year of over 30-plus yards. Number one in college football. He had 11 catches of more than 40-plus yards. Number one in college football. 7 catches of more than 50-plus yards. Number one in college football. The man had 5 catches of more than 60-plus yards. And you guessed it, number one in college football. He also had the second most deep yards in the NCAA last year. So I want to ask you this question. How many touchdowns will Jalin Hyatt have this season for the New York Giants in his rookie year? I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Let me know how many TDs will he have. And as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Queenie! Oh! We are not worthy! We are not worthy! Bow to the Queen of York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Queenie, you are an absolute legend. No. I was trying my best to hold my composure during the cut, and I just see a red super chat pop up of Queenie, $100 super chat.
Shout out to Queenie.
Shout out to Queenie. Chugs, you want to do a beer shot fun race with me? Yeah, let's do it. Get the shot funds, Chugs. Get the shot funds. Happy dad me, brother. Shout out to Queenie. Queenie, what the hell is going on?
This is my first Queenie experience, actually.
This is the first one? Yeah. She just does this. Comes out of nowhere.
No comment either.
I know, and I wish she would say something because I would love to put it on screen. Queenie, thank you so much for supporting the channel. You leave me speechless all the freaking time. Thank you is not even the right word here, but sincerely, I really, really appreciate it. Queenie, you are a legend. I love how when it happened, everyone was like, Queenie in the chat.
W Queenie, W Queenie.
Dub Queenie, the queen of New York Giants Now. Queenie, we love you, and thank you for the very, very generous support of the channel. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without real ones like Queenie. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cameron Johnson also coming in with a super chat. Cam, thank you, homie. He says, not having a true number one wide receiver could be good. Defenses have no idea where the ball is going.
Fair point.
What does that mean? All righty. Let's do it. Shout out to Queenie. Cam, we're going to do this beer shot fun, and then I will answer Cameron Johnson's question as well. Also, let's put that one in the mailbag. Seeps knows what he's doing. Touch tips?
Touch tips.
All right, here we go. Shout out to Queenie. Show Queenie some love in the chat. Just drop those cues.
Everybody spam Queenie in the chat.
Queenie. 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 Queenie.
Oh! They're gone.
That was right on time, too. I love it.
Everybody spamming the Queenies in the chat. Oh! Jeremy! Beat him by half a second.
You're just going to let that happen?
Jeremy with the stare down after.
Sleep over him, Jeremy.
That was tough.
I'm just glad I could finally beat my older brother.
Oh, my Lord.
Queenie's having fun in the chat.
Queenie is a goat. Oh, man. I'm in. I need a rematch versus Jeremy Chugs. We'll get that. We'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Woo! So Cam says not having a true number one wide receiver could be good. defenses have no idea where the ball is going. I will say this, take it with a grain of salt. I will say, sometimes I play some flag football every once in a while, Seeps.
Here and there.
When I have a guy that is the number one wide receiver, I feel more inclined to throw him the football. Yeah. I feel like I am locked into him more. I feel like he is always my first read. So what I would say here, Cameron, is sometimes as a quarterback, it's good to not have that pressure. You don't feel the need to force feed this guy. You can actually read the coverage. You can look at what is open. You can go through your progressions. So I get it from that standpoint. But, man, sometimes it's really nice on 3rd and 8, and you could throw it to a guy that has a DB draped all over him, and he just trusts him to make a strong hands catch and get that first down. But luckily for the Giants, they have that guy, Darren Waller. But I do get what Cam is saying here.
Yeah, and it's always, especially when it's 3rd and 8, everything's covered. You can just give a 50-50 ball to your number one. In reality, it's like a 70-30 ball. But that's also a good point, Marsh. Doesn't really have they don't really focus in on that one guy. Can kind of spread it around.
I think I think a lot of people are going to be surprised how much Darren Waller is used as a receiver this year.
Yeah.
If I were a betting man, which I am, I would bet that Darren Waller has more snaps spread out wide than he does connected to the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
I almost feel 100% confident in that. That's why I think the Giants are going to use him. Cameron, great question. We'll revisit that. As my man, the Big Moo, says, shots, Marsh. I'll take a shot. F it. We're at $173 in Super Chats. It's a Monday. It's a holiday. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. Look, we got to $173 today. I'll take a shot at tequila. If we can get to 200, 27 away, I'll do another beer shot fundraise first
race.
chugs. Or we'll do Seeps. I need an easy win. Win. Big Moo, this one's for you, my man. Woo! Jesus Diaz says, JK, I'm not going to the NFL, only college. I don't know what that means. Gilly, happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Awesome. I do want to let you guys know, though, our main Chat Sports channel, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV, the mothership of Chat Sports, our biggest channel where we do all of our main coverage. We are going to be going live for the NBA draft. Yep. They will be live 2 hours before Victor Wembanyama is selected by the San Antonio Spurs. So if you want informative, entertaining, and what's another word I'm looking for? Engaging. That's exactly what I was looking for, reading my mind. Coverage of the 2023 NBA draft. Subscribe to Chat Sports. That's youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. They'll be live 2 hours before the draft. They'll announce every single pick. There's no Taco Bell commercials where the MVP might get selected. That's not going to happen.
And probably one of the most sought-after drafts in probably since Zion and Ja.
This is an intriguing draft.
It's loaded.
It's a very deep draft as well. Make sure you guys join us. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV Thursday, 2 hours before tip-off. We'll be live for the NBA draft. As my man Tuto Azerti with a $5 super chat. Tuto, you're a freaking animal, man.
Forget
Massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Marshy Seep and Mr. Rosario Guzzo, the king of the New York Giants fan nation, and all the diehard Giants fans in the chat. Forget about it. Tuto, you're a legend, my man. Great to see you.
Holy cow.
How's the rugby season going?
Yeah.
Man? Let me know, Tuto. I'm very curious how the rugby season is turning out for you in the home team. And does he know what channel you're on, Johnson U? Johnson U, good to see you in the chat, my man. And Johnson, we appreciate the $22 super chat. He says, Dalvin Cook, you are a New York Giant. What do you got to say about that, Seeps? I heard he might be a Viking again.
Well, yeah, those are the words. Kirk Cousins said Dalvin's coming back. So, I don't think he's a Giant. I don't know where he's going. I really have no idea. I still think maybe the Dolphins, but I think Dalvin Cook's in for a rude awakening when he sees this running back market.
I do not think in the slightest Dalvin Cook is a Giant.
There is pretty much that would mean what would need to happen? Saquon gets traded, probably.
Yeah.
Not traded or.
I think it's more likely Dalvin Cook sits out. Saquon Barkley sits out the season than Dalvin Cook's a Giant.
There's just no way Dalvin Cook's dressing up.
No.
In the big blue.
Johnson, you got us to $200 in super chats.
It throws me back seeing a Johnson use super chat right now. Like
It
doesn't
does.
feel like June.
It doesn't. Oh, what a live show today has been. Gilly says there's a 0% chance Cook is a Giant. I agree. Why would the Giants pay Dalvin Cook the $7-8 million he wants while they won't pay Saquon Barkley what he wants? Giants have all their attention focused right now, I think, on getting a long-term deal with Saquon Barkley done. I just think the Giants are going to have to give a little bit more than they want to, and Saquon Barkley is going to have to accept a little bit less than he wants to. And I believe July 17th, a deal gets done. My prediction for the Saquon Barkley contract is 4 years. 4 years, about anywhere from 4 years, $48 to $52 million. But his guaranteed money is going to be like $28 million, where those first 2 years are going to be fully guaranteed. That third year will be half guaranteed, and I believe the fourth year will actually be a void year. That's my gauge on this. Saquon's not going to sign a deal unless the guaranteed money is more than $22 million, because that's how much he would be paid guaranteed if he was a franchise player for this year and next year. So there's no incentive for him to sign a long-term deal unless it's more than that money. And I think the Giants are going to up their offer about June 16th to get it done. ESMZ. Yes, I remember who you are, Brody. What up, man? What up? Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good summer as well. I do know this. My main ESMZ says, I see a lot of new people. We do have a lot of new people. Maybe you don't know the rules. You take your shoes off when you come into Giants Now, and that's the equivalent of liking the video. We got 200 people watching right now and only 136 likes. Let's get to 150 likes. 150 likes, and we'll take another shot at tequila. Let's go. Johnson uses can't wait for the Knicks draft live stream.
This is almost like a pregame.
Preseason for Thursday.
It's like a warm-up.
Thursday's going to be lit, Johnson. I'm excited. I think the Knicks might make a move. I think they do. I think the Knicks might make a move on Thursday, Johnson. Thank you for the super chat today, and I can't wait to see you on Thursday. All righty. I lost the first shot fund race to Chugs. I feel like a loser, but I'm trying to win today. Jesus Diaz says, Marshall, how tall are you? I'm like 6'5".
I'm about 6'8", so it's like...
No, I'm like 6 foot in Nike Air Maxes, so maybe 5. I'm 5'11". I'll say 5'11 and a half. My driver's license says 6'1". I don't know how that got there.
You go off the license.
You go off the license? 6'1".
I don't know how that got there.
Oh, my man Authentic in the chat. What up, Authentic? My man is like the most creative Giants content creator out there. He has like these videos where it's like 4K quality. It's just great. It's great. My man Authentic. Go check him out. Rob says 5'12" with the tan. Do I look sunburned today? I don't think I do. Maybe I do though. Yeah, we're just both white. We're white. We're pasty and we're white. All righty. Authentic, my man says, been listening while cleaning the studio. Saquon deal definitely gets done. Solid show, bro. Authentic, I appreciate you. I hope it does, man. Are we talking Saquon next? Yeah. So I actually ran into our man, Damon Snacks Harrison, this weekend. I got a picture of him, with him. That would have been weird. With him. Yo, can I get a picture of you, man? No, I met Snacks Harrison this weekend. And I was chopping it up with him, and I was like, yo, you think they get it done with Saquon? And Snacks was like, they got to, bro. They got to. They have no choice. So Snacks Harrison thinks the deal gets done. I think it does too. Really nice guy. Shout out to Snacks Harrison. one of my favorite Giants growing up. He was a good dude. He was a good dude. Rob says, did you invite Snacks to the show? I did ask him. I said, yo, I got to get you on the channel. We got to get an interview. And he was like, yeah, sure. So I don't know if he's actually going to come on the show, but he did follow me back on Twitter. We have a mutual friend. That's how I met him. My friend seems to think we can get him on the show, so I'm definitely going to try. I think a Snacks interview would be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. I was almost thinking, like, what if we can get him to come into studio since he lives in Dallas? That'd be sick. A little in-studio interview with Snacks. He is a big guy. What's crazier, though, and I already told Seeps this. We'll move on with the show here in a little bit. So my friend, who is the mutual friend with me and Snacks, my friend Bruce, he owns a water ice company, which is a Philadelphia snack. And he opened up his store, and he has a mutual friend that connected him with Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry and Snacks Harrison were actually in the line for the icy at the same time. And it was like, I'm like facing this way, they're behind me, and my friend's like, yo, Derrick's here. And I was like, Derrick who? And I turned around and I was like, oh shit, Derrick Henry. I could not imagine trying to tackle Derrick Henry. He's huge. He like kind of made Snacks look small. So kind of wild there. I didn't talk to Derrick Henry. And what I wanted to say was great game in week 1 last year. Hold that L, Derrick. Shout out to Fat Randy missing that kick to give the Giants. He would have. I would have. I would never say that. I would never say that to Derrick Henry. Oh, man. Authentic. I agree. If Snacks says it, it's getting done. It's getting done. Dude, he is, pause, huge. He is huge. All righty, let's do it. All right, here we go. Second shot fun of the day. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Dude, I'm like freaking sweating in here. I got the burning of the ice cold Happy Dad right here, and then I'm sweating in the stew. It's hot in here. It's hot. It's hot. No fan. Screwed us. They screwed us. Let's power through, baby. Shout out to Queenie and my guy Johnson Yu for getting us there. Yeah. Snacks Harrison. He said it's getting done. We're actually going to talk about Saquon Barkley here in a little bit. So we're about to talk about minicamp. Giants minicamp wrapped up last week. I didn't really have a good time to do minicamp winners and losers. So we'll do that today. I think the number one thing to remember, though, about these winners and losers segments, there are no losers from minicamp. Non-padded practice. And the Giants only did 7-on-7s this year, which is different from last year. So no real losers. But I'll try to swing it in a way which maybe it didn't go the best for them, but more of just a buzzword. But let's get into it. Let's dive into winners and losers from minicamp that wrapped up last week. Yo, what up, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. New York Giants minicamp wrapped up last week. They actually only had 2 practices because the third practice was canceled, and Brian Daboll held a cookout for all of the players. So that was pretty cool from Brian Daboll. So in today's show, I'm going to go through 3 winners from Giants minicamp as well as 3 losers. I think it's important for me to say this. There are no losers in minicamp, and there really aren't any winners. It's non-padded practice. It's 7-on-7. It's essentially a passing camp, and there's no contact. So don't be the guy in the comment section that says, that was just due to loser. He makes $1 million, and you're on YouTube. If you comment that, you will be a loser for sure. Let's start, though, with my number 1 winner for Giants minicamp. I have Paris Campbell as the number 1 winner coming out of camp. I love everything I've read about Campbell. I think he's going to be a great player, and I think has a really defined role in this Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka offense, and we'll talk about that. But Paris, according to Dan Duggan of The Athletic, had the most catches from Daniel Jones at camp, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a new guy like Paris Campbell, who's new to the Giants after signing an NFL free agency from the Indianapolis Colts, start to get that chemistry down with Daniel Jones. Campbell talked about how earlier in the offseason, Daniel Jones orchestrated kind of a guys camp, wide receiver passing camp down in Arizona. And Campbell said that really got him off to a quick start and being a good teammate. And that's what you like to see. Obviously, the Giants don't have that number one wide receiver, that alpha wide receiver, even though I do think it will be Darren Waller. I think Campbell could be a guy that potentially leads this team in receptions outside of Waller if he does end up playing 15 or 16 games, because that's really been the Achilles heel of his career, is the fact that he's not been able to stay available, and durability has been a problem. I also like what I'm hearing from camp that Paris Campbell got some work with the running backs for the New York Giants. No, I don't expect Paris Campbell to be getting a lot of touches in between the tackles. But go back to last minicamp. What two wide receivers were working with the running backs from time to time? Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson, which tells me Campbell's going to be a guy that's being used in a whole bunch of motions. He's going to be lined up all over the field. He's going to be getting those jet sweeps, those little pop passes from Daniel Jones in the shotgun. The Giants are going to try to put the ball in the hands of Paris Campbell, the former second-round pick out of Ohio State. The guy is built like a running back, and he's hard to tackle at the end of the day. The thing is, like we talked about, hasn't been able to stay healthy. 2019 only played in 7 games. 2020 only 2 games. 2021, 6 games. 2022 he finally played a full season, and he was extremely productive. I think his role kind of limited his production in the sense that he was primarily a short check down guy out of the slot for the Indianapolis Colts, and they also had really bad quarterback play. But he had 63 receptions, but only for 623 yards, and he did have 3 touchdowns. Paris Campbell is my breakout player for the New York Giants. When we look back 6 months, 7 months, 8 months from now, I believe Paris Campbell this year may be what Richie James was last year for the Giants. Richie James was one of the most, I guess you could say, productive receivers for the Giants last year. And we kind of were going through camp last year talking about Richie James had a good day. Richie James was a mini camp winner. I believe that Paris Campbell might be the Richie James for this year, and he's much better of a player than what James is. So I want to ask this question before we roll on in today's show. What wide receiver, don't include Darren Waller, just for the sake of debate, what wide receiver ends the season with the most touchdowns? Comment your answer down below. Another mini-camp winner, I believe, is Nick McCloud, the do-it-all DB. He could play outside corner. He could play inside corner. And something that I thought was really intriguing so far this summer is he's getting looks at the starting safety position alongside Xavier McKinney. And you go back last year, the Giants put Nick McCloud on the field a whole lot. And that maybe was something that I kind of brushed to the side a little bit. I didn't understand why they were doing that. They just like him. And they like the versatility that he brings. I think the versatility that McCloud brings could kind of make him the Julian Love replacement for this year. Love, what they call him. The nickname for Julian Love was duct tape because he could play strong. He could play free. He could play nickel. He could come play in the slot. And while I think Love is a better tackler than Nick McCloud is, he brings some of that same versatility. While Nick McCloud was predominantly an outside corner in his career up until this point, he played 132 snaps in the slot last year for Big Blue. Had 7 pass breakups, did allow 3 touchdowns, also had 43 tackles, but it's the versatility that I love with McCloud. And he's going to fit in anywhere on this depth chart. He could be the starting slot corner. Darnay Holmes sounds like he may be the new Darius Slayton of this offseason. We'll talk about him. But yeah, he's going to compete with guys like Aaron Robinson, Cordell Slot, a.k.a. Cordell Flott. Those are the guys who's going to be competing for that slot position. But even if he is not the starting slot, maybe let's say that Flott or Robinson wins that job, he's going to get serious looks at the opposite safety next to Xavier McKinney. Pinnock, who has been dealing with some injuries through camp so far, working on the side. But you got Belton. Javarius Owens has looked really good. Bobby McCain had a pick 6. McCloud is going to be on this football team this year, and he's going to be contributing in a major way all over the field. And for that reason and what he showed in camp and that versatility, he is a winner for me. My last winner, I could go all day about guys that were winners, but we'll keep it to 3. I got Darren Waller, man. Everybody you talk to, whether it's Brian Balding or whoever is the Giants tight end coach, Waller is loved inside the Giants building. And whenever you get a new player to a team, you always hear the players talk him up. But it just seems like when they talk about Darren Waller, they put him in a different class. They know that this guy is an absolute stud. The only thing is health. They know that when he is on the field, eyes go to him. 6'5", 200, 55, 65 pounds. Ran a 4.4 at the combine. He's just an absolute freak. I mean, his tight end partner, Daniel Bellinger, called him a unicorn. Bellinger just simply cannot do some of the things that Darren Waller can do. But it wasn't just Bellinger. Daniel Jones has gushed about him, talking about how serious he's taken it, how much of a leader he's been. Everybody that has asked about Darren Waller just shows so much love, appreciation, gratitude, and respect to not only the player, but the person he is as well. And he's a special player, no doubt about it. Last week, I think it was Friday, you can go check it out on the channel. I did a full entire video on Darren Waller talking about the player that he can be and has been in the NFL and the type of role I think he has for the Giants. What I love the most, though, with what the Giants are doing with Darren Waller is they are managing his workload. They know there's no reason for Darren to be involved in every single snap and every single play of the offseason program. Only thing that matters with Mr. Waller is if he is 100% ready to go when the Giants have to take on the Dallas Cowboys in week 1. There's no reason to overwork him in the summer. Just make sure the dude is ready to go week 1, and they're doing their best by a little bit of load management from good old Brian Daboll and the Giants coaching staff. We'll get to 3 losers I have from minicamp coming up in a second, but first make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. June and July, it's the dog days of the NFL offseason. But I'm still grinding it out every day trying to get you guys content. Videos every day on the latest Giants news and rumors. Hit that sub button and help us get to 30,000 subs. We'd really, really appreciate it. This one's probably going to get me cursed out in the comment section. But it's just an excuse for me to talk about Saquon Barkley. My number 1 loser is Saquon Barkley because he was the only New York football Giant not at mini camp. Obviously, he's not a loser for what he did at minicamp, and there are no losers at minicamp. But this just gives me a chance to talk about Saquon Barkley. Reports are coming out. There's been really conflicting reports about Barkley coming from Ian Rappaport. Rappaport reported last week that there was a deal back on the table. Then he kind of walked that back and said, I misspoke, and he is saying they are in contact and they are working on a deal. And that's good news, and I believe a deal might get done. And over the weekend, I ran into a New York Giants legend, good old Snacks Harrison. I ran into him. We chopped it up. We dapped it up. And I was like, yo, Snacks, you think they get it done with Saquon Barkley? My man said they ain't got no choice. They got to. So New York Giants legend, Snacks Harrison, he said they're going to get it done. And I do think a deal gets done with Barkley and the New York Giants. Look, when you have 2 parties that are trying to get something done, and they both want it to get done, Joe Shane has offered Saquon contract after contract after contract, at least reported contracts, which tells you he wants Saquon to be a Giant. And Saquon has said it time and time again, I want to be a Giant for life. So Saquon wants to be a Giant. The Giants want Saquon to be a Giant. There's both motivation from both sides to get this deal done, and for that reason, I think it does. I think Saquon's going to have to just accept a little bit less, and the Giants are going to have to offer a little bit more than they want to. That deadline, though, July 17th. If not, Saquon's going to have to play or hold out on the franchise tag. So I want to ask you, does a Saquon extension get done before the July 17th deadline? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We don't only cover the New York Giants, though, here at Chat Sports. We pretty much cover everything, and especially the NBA draft. We are the kings of YouTube when it comes to live NBA draft coverage, and I want you guys to be there on Thursday. Go to youtube.com/chatsportstv and subscribe to the mothership and help us get to 400,000 subscribers over on Chat Sports, our main channel. And join us Thursday for every pick of the 2023 NBA draft. Informative, entertaining, and interactive coverage. I can promise you this much. We will not be going to a Taco Bell commercial when potentially an NBA Finals MVP gets selected. So subscribe and join us for all 58 picks. All righty. This one hurts because honestly, Collin Johnson has been a winner all offseason long. He has looked great all summer long. He looked good at OTAs. He looked good at minicamp. But unfortunately, for Collin Johnson, it's a numbers game. And I don't really think there's anything Collin Johnson can do in between the white lines on the gridiron to make this football team. It stinks because he's been killing it. And for that reason, I have him as a loser. He's a great player. They said he's been dominating in practice in the second teams with Tyrod Taylor. He's been the go-to target for Taylor. But the Giants are only going to keep 6, maybe 7 wide receivers. And I believe Hodgins is a lock. I believe Darius Slayton is a lock. I believe Paris Campbell's a lock. And I believe Jalin Hyatt is a lock. That's 4 guys right there. And I believe Wan'Dale Robinson, if healthy, will 100% make the roster. Only chance that Collin Johnson really does have to make this roster is if Shepard or Wan'Dale Robinson or both start the season on the PUP list, and it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. So Hodgins, Shepard, Robinson, Slayton, Campbell, and Hyatt. Those are 6 wide receivers right there. You still got Crowder, Johnson, and everybody's favorite, next great wide receiver, Bryce Ford, Wheaton. Oh, the Bryce Ford Wheaton hype, it kills me every single time. We got one more loser to talk about from Giants minicamp. But I don't want you to be a loser because this deal of a Giants hat and t-shirt for just $23.99 is not going to last forever. It's flying off the shelf. So get yourself a hat and a t-shirt for $23.99. You're not going to find a better deal. You got to be a subscriber, so subscribe. Then go to chatsports.com/Giants hat combo. That link's clickable in the comments and description. This actually might be the only real loser from Giants minicamp. And it's not because, I guess it is because of the play a little bit. Slot corner, Darnay Holmes. It sounds like Darnay Holmes is the new Darius Slayton of the 2022 summer for the New York Giants. We talked about it time and time again last summer that Slayton is probably not going to make this roster. But he did make it because he had to take a pay cut. That was the only way he was going to stay on this roster. And sounds like the same might be coming for Darnay Holmes. Dan Duggan of The Athletic, who crushes it on the New York Giants beat, says Darnay Holmes could be on the trade block if the Giants can find a taker, or he could wind up in a similar spot as wide receiver Darius Slayton a year ago when the team requested a pay cut at the end of the preseason. There's been some buzz for quite some time about Darnay Holmes not making this roster. The Giants definitely improved that cornerback depth chart the last couple of years, and there's going to be some good competition at that spot. Look, Cordell Flott, Aaron Robinson, Nick McCloud. Those are the guys that are going to be working there. Even Bobby McCain could probably get some work at that slot corner. Holmes is in a tough spot because Aaron Robinson is cheaper and Cordell Flott is cheaper. And you can cut Darnay Holmes and save $2.7 million against the salary cap. And that just might be the cost of doing business for the Giants this year. I think Holmes is still a good player. I would try to trade him, but usually when word gets out that a team is trying to trade a player, you don't really get much back in return. So I think Holmes could be on the outside looking in when it comes to that final 53-man roster. But I'll let you be the GM for today's show. Sit in the seat of Joe Shane. Will Darnay Holmes make the Giants roster? Type M for make, type C for cut. I want to hear from you down below. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy days and just spending a couple minutes with us here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. If you want to talk more Giants football, I'm down over on Twitter. So send me a DM at @MarshallGreen_. Woo! So hot. It's getting hot in here.
It's hot.
Is it because the takes, or is it just the AC's off?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Some hot takes being spewed out. But we got Johnson, you calling Dalvin Cook a giant.
Oh, Johnson, you. Dalvin Cook is not a giant.
He's not a giant.
He is not. I think he's back with the Vikings.
So my theory is they offered him $5 million a year, and they said, you go test the market. If you don't get a deal, this deal's still on the table.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
I like that. Go see if that grass is greener.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like, you've done enough for this organization. You go on your own. You will always have home here.
Because let's be honest, you're not running it back with Alexander Madison, dude. And I don't care how much you tell me about this. Who's the other guy?
Ty Chandler.
Ty Chandler.
You will know who Ty Chandler is.
Oh, lordy.
You ever hear Dwayne McBride?
Dwayne McBride? Deuce McBride, the point guard for the Knicks?
7th rounder out of UAB.
Oh, lordy. Lordy. Alex Jackson, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Like an edible pizza?
I like cheese pizza, to be honest.
Yeah.
Pepperonis give me a heartburn, so I don't know.
What is an edible?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Alex, don't be weird about it. Don't be weird about it, dude. We are going to close today's show with a mailbag. If you want to get your question featured on today's show, the easiest way to do that is to comment in the comment section and just include hashtag Giants like you do see it on screen right there. Just press the number sign, type Giants, then press space, and then type your question. Type your question. I want to answer questions from all the real ones out there. How are we looking over there?
Looking okay. I think I'm gonna call Gilly out. I think Gilly. I want to see. She actually already has her super chat.
Yeah, Gilly's
question.
got a couple soups in there.
Gilly's got the good question in there.
Dave McDrip says you got to model the shirt and hat for us. You got a good point. I'm not much of a hat guy. I like to show off the widow's peak.
I have too big of a head for a hat, too.
Yeah, the widow's peak is too beautiful to be covered up by a hat.
True.
So I don't know. Jesus Diaz says, OMG, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Devonwa Adams, and Jair Alexander just got traded to the Giants. Oh, crap. Maybe we should go live on the channel. Hey, Zeus, no fake news.
Come on, Jesus.
Hey, Zeus, no fake news over here, man. We might have to get our intern McCullough to block you if you continue to spread fake news. Bill says that's actually a good idea. Wear the shirt. Hey, you know what, Bill? Maybe I'll talk to the supervisors, huh?
Yeah.
Get myself some more Giants gear out of it. I do want to let you guys know, though, myself, Patrick Seatman, we're going to be live on New York Knicks Now for the 2023 NBA Draft. We're going to be breaking down all 58 selections that go down, and we're going to be having a little bit of fun on the channel. So subscribe to youtube.com/KnicksTV. We want to see you guys over there, and let's have some fun. Let's talk some ball over there.
You guys are going to love it.
It's going to be a fun show. We have two giveaway items.
Probably the best draft. This draft is so much fun because you got like the studs and like Scoot and Victor Wembanyama, but you also got a bunch of dogs in the later end of the draft too. It's going to be fun. So tune in. Check us out.
I will say we've come out. If you are watching the show right now and you do sub to Knicks Now, we have a brand new, real one, Knicks Now t-shirt. You can get the first one via raffle if you want to join the show then. Gilly, coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Gilly, I might start it off with this. Gilly.
I like
this
that.
is a great question.
Great question from Gilly. Gilly's a goat. Honestly, yeah, let's start the sack with this one.
Start it off with that.
Let's start the mail sack with this one. Let's go. You're all good, Jesus. Just no fake news. No fake news, man.
Jesus, you had us there.
You had us, dude. You totally convinced us, Val. You're very persuasive. Alrighty, last chance to get featured on the mailbag. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat in the comments section, and we'll put your questions up on the screen. Let's roll. What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We got a mailbag coming up for all of the real ones out there. This video came from our live show that goes down every single Monday. So if we didn't get to your question, that means you are being kind of a phony. So subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you get alerted anytime we go live here on New York Giants Now. My dog, Gilly, with a $5 super chat. Gilly, thank you. You wanted another question. I did want another question, specifically from you, Gilly. I got you. Why haven't we addressed edge depth yet? Are you worried about this? I am worried a little bit about the depth. Honestly, a little bit is a lie. I am extremely worried about the edge depth on the New York Football Giants because outside of Azeez Ojulari and outside of Kayvon Thibodeau, you do not have any productive pass rusher to supplement those guys. And I don't think it's unfair to say that Azeez Ojulari has been an injury-prone player so far. And we know Kayvon Thibodeau, dating back to his days at Oregon, has somewhat been injured. I think O'Shane Ximines is a good guy. He's got a great name. I don't like him as my third edge rusher. Ryder Anderson is supposedly up to 300 pounds. That doesn't sound like an edge rusher. And as much as Lawrence Taylor likes Timon Fox, I don't want him as my first edge rusher off the bench. I will continue to pound the table for Justin Houston. I think the Giants have to sign a veteran edge rusher at some point. I hope they do. Maybe they cut Darnay Holmes and they go and sign an edge rusher. But Gilly, I am worried about this, very much so. G-Men Lifer 4-5. What's up, homie? Can Bryce you guys in the Bryce Ford Wheaton. Can Bryce Ford Wheaton make the Giants roster? I got to come to work every day and look at Seeps across the office and him continue to tell me that Bryce Ford Wheaton's the next great. Look, I get the juice. 6'4", 220 pounds, 4'3", 840, and a vertical jump of 41 inches. Like when we all played Madden, this was the wide receiver we created. 95 speed, 6'4", can jump through the roof, looks like Megatron, kind of plays like not Megatron, though. I mean, when you look at the stats for Bryce Ford Wheaton, it just doesn't add up, right? I mean, the guy never had more than 62 receptions in a season. I mean, he posted career highs in his senior season, and honestly, the numbers aren't great. I mean, he's averaging 11 yards per catch. I like 7 touchdowns. I'll take 7 tutties. But you give me 6'4", 220, 4'4", 40, 4'3", 40. Why are you only averaging 11 yards per catch? And to top that off, he was undrafted. And then to top that off, the Giants are already so deep at the wide receiver position. Like Hodgins, Shepard, Robinson, Slayton, Campbell, Hyatt, Crowder, Johnson, David Sills, and then Bryce Ford Wheaton. And I didn't even say Jeff Smith, who the Giants like as a special teamer. I know a lot of people want to hype up Bryce Ford Wheaton. I know it's really fun to talk about UDFAs. And I hope that Bryce Ford Wheaton becomes the Calvin Johnson or the Randy Moss or the A.J. Green that you guys always tell me he's going to be. But to be those guys, you got to make the roster. And how many wide receivers are the Giants going to keep? I think 6 or 7. I think 6 is the number, and I think 7 is the absolute max. And I just don't see a way where Bryce Ford Wheaton is one of those 7 guys. Maybe he crushes it, though, in the preseason and becomes the next Victor Cruz and absolutely dominates. But I don't know. I hope he is, but I'll ask you. As my guy Bill says, you know who else was undrafted? Victor Cruz. Yes, he was. Yes, he was, Bill. Will Bryce Ford Wheaton make the roster? I hope so, because that means he's going to be a damn good football player. I am expecting him to be a part of the practice squad, though. But I'm not always. I'm not wrong much, but I am wrong sometimes. So let me know, yes or no, will Bryce Ford Wheaton make the roster? Rosario Guzzo in the building. What up, homie? He says, do you think Gray will be a factor for the Giants' running attack? It's a good question. I am an Eric Gray fan. The more film that I watch on him, the more people I talk to about him, my fandom for Eric Gray continues to grow. I believe he's going to have a good career in the NFL. I think he fits what a professional running back is. He can run hard through the tackles. He's not an easy guy to bring down. Not top-end speed, but enough burst and enough juice to make people miss in the open field. He's a good receiving threat out of the backfield. He's a good running back. And I do think he's going to be more of a factor than what Matt Breida was, potentially, last year. I think the Giants, if the Giants do sign Saquon to a long-ish term deal, they're going to have to scale back his usage a little bit because you want to keep him fresh throughout the season and fresh for next year. Last year was kind of a one-year all-in Saquon, show me what you got type of season. I think this year, if a long-term deal gets done, you can't just give him 35 carries against the Houston Texans. Like, there's no need for that anymore. So I could see Gray being a little bit of a factor. How much? Not a crazy amount of usage for Gray, but I think he'll get his touches and maybe have a couple of TDs this year. I think he'll definitely be a guy that they could. I want to see Eric Gray and Saquon Barkley on the field at the same time. That's what I want to see. Johnson, you, my man, $20 super chat. Thanks, homie. Dalvin Cook, you are a New York Giant. No. I don't think Dalvin Cook is a New York Giant. I think it is more likely that Saquon Barkley does not play this year than Dalvin Cook suits up for the Giants. My prediction is Dalvin Cook is a Dolphin, and if he's not a Dolphin, I think he goes back to the Minnesota Vikings. We got a couple more questions to answer from all of the real ones out there coming up. We got an awesome deal for the subscribers out there. So step one, subscribe to the channel. Hit the big red sub button. Then go to chatsports.com/GiantsHatCombo. That's chatsports.com/GiantsHatCombo. And get a Giants hat and t-shirt in a bundle for $23.99. That's a hat and a shirt repping your Giants in the summer for $24. Get the deal today because it won't last forever. Just go right here. chatsports.com/GiantsHatCombo. Gilly, back again. Thank you for the super chat, Gilly. We appreciate it. With Belly and Wally, love that name, Gilly. Are the Giants going to be a 2 tight end offense going forward? Going forward, I don't think that their starting offense includes 2 tight ends. But what I will say, Gilly, is I'm expecting Darren Waller to get a lot of snaps and a lot of reps at that wide receiver position. And I believe the Giants want to run an offense at times with Waller and Bellinger. I think some weeks we might see Bellinger play 75, 80% of snaps. But then when the Giants go with more of a passing attack, I believe you only may see him from 35, 40% of snaps. That's what I love about Brian Dable. That's what I love about Mike Kafka. They draw up individual game plans for every single game. It can change and swing on a matter of a dime, and they're going to do what they think is best and the best plan of attack to win that game. Some weeks it might be a lot of Belly and Wally on the field at the same time. Some weeks it may just be a Waller week. But I do believe that Bellinger is going to have a big role on this team, Gilly. No doubt about it. Guzzo, back again. When Wan'Dale gets healthy, he will be a great slot receiver. I have high hopes for Wan'Dale Robinson, the second-round pick in the 2022 NFL draft out of Kentucky. He was great for Kentucky, had over 100 catches last year, or I guess his last season in college football in the SEC. And we started to kind of see Mr. Wan'Dale come on and get hot before, unfortunately, he had that season-ending injury. What did he have? Over 100 yards in that game he got injured? The Giants like him. They took him in the second round. He's going to have a role on this team, and I think he's going to be a good player for this football team and this organization for a good number of years, Mr. Guzzo. Good point. I like Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm not selling my stock on him. Rob Jigga, what up, man? He says, hashtag edge rusher for the Giants in the supplemental draft. Just thought about that. There's only one player in the supplemental draft this year, the wide receiver. What's his name? I don't remember. There's a wide receiver that's in the supplemental draft. Only one guy this year. No edge rushers in the supplemental draft this year, Mr. Rob. Matt Robertson, how many TDs do you think Waller and Bellinger will have combined? It's a good question. Can I get 10 combined? Maybe 7 for Waller, 3 for Bellinger, 8 for Waller, 2 for Bellinger. Can I get 10 combined touchdowns out of those two guys? That's what I would consider a really successful season for the tight end duo. Great question, Matt. Michael Pons, what up, man? He says, if Barkley sits out, what's your thoughts on Leonard Fournette? For $5 million for 1 year? Hell no, I'm not paying playoff Lombardi Lenny $5 million. While I would expect that if the Giants got word, right, that Barkley was going to sit out for the season, and they accepted that, I bet they would go out and sign a veteran back. I just don't think it would be for $5 million a year. I believe they'd roll with Eric Gray and Matt Breida as the top two in that backfield. That's more of the route that I think they take, Mr. Pons. ESMZ, what up, homie? Do you think Jalin Hyatt will start at least a couple of games? Yeah. Is he going to go down in his Pro Football Reference page as a start? Sure. I believe Hyatt's going to have a role on this team, man. Because you don't need Jalin Hyatt to play 90% of the snaps to have an impact on a game. Give the guy 15 snaps, 2 targets, 1 catch, 45 yards and a touchdown. That's all Jalin Hyatt has to do to affect the game. He doesn't need a lot of usage, but he will down the road but he's a third-round pick. Remember that. And the Giants are deep at wide receiver this year. I don't think we need to be going after Jalin Hyatt if he doesn't play all that much in the first 4 or 5 games of the season. But I would love a touchdown week 1 over the top to Mr. Hyatt, burning Trayvon Diggs, that bum. Let's close out the show with this question. What will be the Giants' record this year? I want to hear from you. I'm going to go... I'm going 10-7. 10-7. Better than the Minnesota Vikings, that's for sure. Gilly, I don't think his reputation will be ruined, Gilly, if you're talking about Hyatt, if he doesn't play all that much. Third-round pick. A lot of third-round picks don't start early on. But let me know what will be the Giants' record this year. Let me know in the comments. I'm going 10-7. 14-3 from Gilly. Shit, I hope so.
14-3? That probably means a Daniel Jones MVP.
Low-key.
Like, honestly, like Giants won 14 games.
Dave McDrip says, Gilly, I got you. I should have my eyes focused on the camera, not the chat.
Saquon, like, the Giants, like, he's not sitting out. He's not wasting a year of his prime. Like, running backs have to.
It didn't work for Le'Veon Bell.
And he was the best running back in the league at the time when he did that. I mean, Marsh, we've talked about it. We kind of feel bad for running backs.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is in the NFL. Like,
that's just how it rolls, unfortunately. It stinks. It stinks. All righty, last time. Make sure you guys are subscribed to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I don't only cover the Giants here at Chat Sports. I'm also lucky enough to cover my New York Knicks. And Seeps and myself will be live on Knicks Now every pick Thursday. I want to see all the people in the chat right now on live on Thursday. Rob says, Marshall, you know the players for the supplemental draft already? You sure? Yeah, I only know of one player in the supplemental draft, and it's the wide receiver.
I think that was.
There's only one player. The only player is Milton Wright, wide receiver out of Purdue.
That's it.
One player has been confirmed to clubs as eligible. Ian Rappaport, June 16th. Milton Wright, who plays receiver. So no, Rob, no edge rusher, unfortunately. But like we said, if you're a Giants fan and you love the Knicks, or you just love my Seeps and me, join us on Thursday.
It's going to be a good time.
We're going to have a lot of fun, and we'd appreciate your guys' support. So if you want to hang out with the homies on Thursday, subscribe to our Knicks channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. We'll be live about an hour before the NBA draft gets rolling Thursday night. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in today. Awesome audience, awesome engagement. And Queenie, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. Also, Bill, thank you. Everyone that super chatted, thank you so much. Bill, I'm going to get to the bottom of that Real One shirt for you, my man. That doesn't sit right with me that they did that.
That pisses me off, Bill.
That pisses me off, Bill. So we'll get that squared away for you. Love you guys. We will see you. Join us tomorrow on Knicks Live as well. We'll see you later.